I like to show you the three paintings I did. I think by now I should be proficient in perspective and colors and compositions and everything. But the more I do, there is a battle between artistic freedom and real painting precision of in nature landscape, and that's always the case. Even though I do a lot of material from photograph, and photograph I like the compositions and everything perfect. So I like to transfer the particular photograph to exactly to the paper. And however, by my capability of technical capability, this particular transferring the landscape is not correct, and that's I don't know. I don't consider that's incorrect, bad compositions or bad transfer from the nature. I would say that's a artificial, artistic endeavor to enhance or to depict your vision or your sense of beauty. And so I wouldn't consider, if you don't, if the perspective is not right, if the color is not right, if the composition is a little bit off from the perfect composition, still there's an artistic endeavor. I would say so, and I will show you one by one my paintings, and I struggle, of course. While I'm doing this, I struggle continuously. Okay, so this is the Trail Ridge Road and the beautiful distant mountains and a nice beautiful slope here. And this guy, of course, it wasn't there, and I had to create this particular person there. And maybe I should create this guy was finally went to the top of the mountain, and maybe he wants to lie down, and he lay down himself and looking at the sky. Then I struggle with this hand position. How long from here to here, and this particular position is right, because I didn't have any reference for this particular pose of the human being, and that's why you need to have a lot of pose. You really have to practice with the human figures, right? In a charcoal drawing or something. But I kind of created this, and I struggle there, of course, and it's I'm not sure it's a natural. The other thing is that the depictions of the thing, which is very rough stroke, and it's not like a well controlled. It's like the edge is not as sharp. I hope that the edge was kind of more sharp and it's kind of distinct, so that you get this impact of a real painting. But so the sky is okay. Sky is nice. I think sky is the easiest part and the difficult part too. If the sky is like a very brush stroke, a very quick brush stroke, as a matter of fact, and I sometimes go after the clouds, try to erase that white area a little bit so that it becomes more naturalistic. Anyway, so this is one painting. The other painting I did is two paintings actually. Is Lost Mountain Lake and Aspen. Lost Mountain Lake, you climb from the Independence Lake area and up, and climb up there, and then if you go to the point where you can see the lake, Lost Mountain Lake. This is a Lost Mountain Lake. you can see from above, very, very high above, you can see the whole lake. And if you can go this way, and you can enjoy this view too, but it's a perspective. The whole thing is I have a picture because I don't have this guy at all, but I put this guys in there. But anyway, even without this guy, the whole thing is, I think I would say, compared to the photograph, when I was doing it, I didn't realize, I do very, very fast sketches from the photograph and it determines the height of these mountains and everything. But it's a little bit off compared to the photograph. And that's very difficult. And then putting in this guy compared to these rocks, and I went there, I sat here, so I kind of remember how I felt when I sitting there. So I know pretty much the size of this guy. Because in this type of picture, it's kind of difficult if you don't know the surrounding things compared to the human size, surrounding size. It's kind of difficult to determine how this particular person is. And I think however you are perched with perspective, mathematical perspective, drawing or construction, it's kind of difficult to determine there because your points of you're standing, and you're higher, above, or lower, or you can see the like a far distance, like a things, or compared to the very close object, and all these things are very difficult. So I finally end up with buying this perspective books, and I ordered the books. So I have to study a little bit more perspective because this is in the picture when I looked at it, this particular mountain is much higher, and so it's kind of difficult. Okay, last one is this one here. This is in the Losman Lake. I went down from this. I went down there. If you go down, and there's a hiking trail here, going behind this particular mountain. Behind this is a hiking trail. Go around and then go into the other trail exit. And but I didn't go there. I went all the way, kind of somewhere around here, but I came back. And this is when I went down, this is the view. Okay, so in this one, of course, this person wasn't there, and this particular person. If I stand here on this, suppose this is flat, because this lake is flat. So suppose this is flat. If you're standing there and looking at this horizon there, or the horizon is somewhere around there. So this particular person should be a little bit farther away, somewhere around here, because this side, the horizon, my eyes going here, this particular person's eyes at the same level. So it has to be over here. And but if you're standing higher, then you see that this type of effect. And I wasn't sure. I'm not sure that this particular point where I'm standing is a little bit higher than this particular flat trail, or maybe I was standing at pretty much the same, elevation point. Then this is wrong. But anyway, so the other thing is that I noticed on this one is that I try to depict this particular thing with a small brush at a little bit sharp point, and I like this particular depiction here. So wow, I like that, but I don't like here, and I spend a little bit time to do this. It's much darker than the photograph showed here, and so the far distance object should be sharp as well. I like it sharper because for some reason I like that effect of the like edges, sharp edges and everything. Very very effective depictions of like a photograph which has a higher resolution. And so, well, some people, you know, they don't do that. Of course not. They suggest what they are over here, and they suggest everything far distance, very, very big, which I don't necessarily like it as of today. And so this one, you know, I kind of like this over here. This one I kind of struggle because the crowd, the dark crowds here all over, and initially much darker, but I kind of try to correct that to a little bit lighter because this is bright here. And so anyway, so there's a lot of artistic freedom here, and artistic freedom. Speaking of artistic freedom, all the great artists in the past, they have a freedom, tremendous freedom. Van Gogh, for example, he had a tremendous freedom to do that. Even Monet, I think, has a tremendous freedom. And in the Japanese artist, Hokusai is a wood block printing artist in 1830, 1820 or something like that, when only means of publication is like a wood block printing. And so he did lots of Mount Fuji, the 36 views of Mount Fuji. And he depicts Mount Fuji in a far distance, of course, but much smaller than anything else and so forth. But as you know, for example, this is a famous 36 view of Mount Fuji by Hokusai, Katsushika Hokusai. And this is a big wave, the title is Big Wave, looking at the Mount Fuji. So this is correct. Perspective is not correct. Of course it's not correct. And but he had a tremendous this artistic freedom to do this, and because of that, this particular compositions and values and composition mostly are very people like this very much. And so wow, you know, that he had that freedom to do that. So, you know, I could do that too myself. So, looking at this, yeah, I don't know. I think as an artist, I would say even though this effect I like to depict, it's particular dark crowds, but it's kind of funny looking, and so I wanted to get rid of this particular dark crowds there, and I like to do a little bit more about here. You know, I like this one here, so based on this I could do that a little bit better here too as well. And of course water is always a problem, and I don't know how much I could do in the water because you have to have a very nice stroke of the waves pattern you have to create, and it's like a one-time deal. You know, you cannot just do many times because it gets muddier and dirtier and so forth. So I'm growing, right? Okay, so still tremendous exercises needed to get satisfactory painting. But anyway, okay, thank you, bye.